Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Fan Appreciation Month here on Reaction and Review. Tonight, guys, I'm going back to Japan to take a look at an animated film from director Koichi Ohata. For those of you who don't know who he is, Koichi Ohata is the man who worked on such things as MD Geist and Genocyber. Mind you, out of those two, I've only seen MD Geist. Haven't had a chance to watch Genocyber yet. I kind of want to, though. But between working on Geist, or finishing Geist and starting on Genocyber, Koichi Ohata worked on this film. Came out in 1989. It is called Cybernetics Guardian. Now, I haven't bothered to read the back of this thing, nor have I bothered to really look up anything about this movie. The only thing I can tell you is just based on the back, it runs 45 minutes. That's really all I can tell you. And even then, according to the DVD here, it only runs 43. So even the back here is lying about runtime, but only by 2 minutes. Who gives a shit? But I'm going into this knowing that I really enjoyed MD Geist. I'm kind of hoping for it to be similar to that in nature. So yeah, we do have that. I really don't know what else to say, guys. Except I'm hoping for this thing to be awesome. So, I'm really anxious to just dive right into this one. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out Cybernetics Guardian. Alright guys, I just kind of want to make mention of this now, and I'm probably going to mention it when this movie's done, but the picture quality on this DVD is really shitty. I mean, this thing basically looks almost like someone just took a really bad VHS copy and just whipped it onto a DVD. It's actually a little bit on the distracting side, but I'm still hoping for something good to come out of this. It's good to see that John now knows how to fucking survive a bullet to the head. Actually, that's kind of fucking badass, really. Wow. Alright, folks. This film has definitely got a very awesome message. What is the best way to shut up any irritating politician? Cut off his fucking head. I like that. There's no way I can possibly lie. That was probably the coolest way I've ever seen somebody die in this movie so far. Just having their head screwed off with a giant fucking drill. That's fucking awesome, dude. Well, guys, now is as good a time as any to mention this. You can hear the music here, right? I'm telling you, this thing has one of the best soundtracks I've heard in a long time. But I'm going to get more into that when the movie's done. I kind of wanted to share it now a little bit, though. Well, folks, that was Cybernetics Guardian. God damn it, all this music is fucking amazing. You guys can hear it. Yeah, see, this shit is fucking awesome. Anyway, I'm gonna shut that off because now it's time to get into the review itself. Well, since I was just praising the soundtrack, I'm going to break my normal protocol. I'm not going to discuss, writing first. I'm going to touch right into the music. At some point, I'm going to have to try to find the soundtrack to this thing. I'm going to have to download it because this thing has a soundtrack which I'm going to assume is just the Japanese version of fucking hair metal, because that's kind of what it sounded like. And I'm a big fan of like cheesy 80s like hair metal style music. So yeah, this soundtrack really appealed to me, and it does help with the film itself. In fact, that soundtrack is fucking awesome. Now, where to even start with this? So yeah, music's awesome. Let's touch on the writing. There is a problem with this film, and it is the runtime, because it does only run about 43 minutes. Mind you, only about 39 of that is the actual film. The rest of it's all credits. because of that, they really don't have a lot of time to flesh out anything. So everything feels really, really rushed, and a lot of things just happen in a very, very contrived manner. The way that John is able to gain fucking control of of his of his his fucking internally built power armor feels so goddamn contrived and stupid that it really almost takes you right out of the film to just sit there and just listen to this woman try to explain it. No, no, no. Shut up. It would have been easier if maybe it just happened without any kind of explanation. I would probably have felt a little bit less cheated then. But, see, that, though, is the problem with, OVAs that are this short, is you don't have a lot of time to flesh out your characters or to explain anything. So you basically just have to fly by the seat of your pants and just hope and pray that shit makes sense once you're out the other end. Beyond that, though, when it comes to the story, even though it is rushed and there are moments where the story feels really, really fucking stupid, it's still really sound. It's still a really good movie. It's just, it would probably have benefited from maybe an extra 20 minutes, perhaps? 20 minutes. That's it. That's all I would have asked for, is maybe just an extra 20 minutes, or at least an extra 10, to try to better explain what the fuck is going on in this thing. Because, okay, yeah, you can kind of figure out what's happening, but it doesn't feel right. It doesn't have the same kind of flow as other films I've seen. And I can really only chalk it up to the fucking runtime. If this thing were allowed to go a little bit longer, it could probably have, been a lot better. However, though, what we still have here is a very serviceable story, and you are not going to walk away disappointed. You're just going to walk away just a little bit, confused, and you're probably going to want to watch it again to see if you missed something, which I very easily could have missed something here, because after all, it took me at least 2 viewings of both fucking parts of MD Geist to even figure out like 3/4 of it. There's still a little bit of it I'm still trying to wrap my head around, but still. It's still worth watching, though, and that much I can say. Voice acting. Well, I should mention, I watched the English dub of this, and the English dub was done by Central Park Media, specifically their branch, which is known as the U.S. Manga, Corps. And the U.S. Manga Corps is known for 2 things. First one is having really good voice acting. I cannot even begin to, lie about that. The voice acting and almost everything which they do is really solid and really good. And this is no exception. So, yeah, at least here the English voice acting is really good. I wouldn't know about the Japanese because I didn't listen to the Japanese audio. The other thing that Central Park Media is kind of known for with all of their releases is you never know the quality of the video. See? Because in certain cases, they have stuff that looks really good. I'm going to go back to MD Geist just because, well, might as well stick with other shit that Koichi Ohata has worked on. With, Geist, the first half of it, because, well, Geist is like a 2-part thing. First one looks really good, actually looks like a DVD quality thing. Then the second one just looks like a, kind of cheap, VHS transfer. Same deal with this thing, except without the good first half. This whole thing looks as if it was taken off of a VHS copy, and not even a good one. The picture is really, really fuzzy. It just doesn't have that kind of quality there, and it really wouldn't have taken much to just do a basic pass and just try to clean this up a little bit, but they didn't. And so the picture kind of suffers a little bit. However, the picture isn't so bad to make it a fucking deal breaker. It's just enough where you have to mention it. It is worth noting that the video quality here is just complete shit. But again, it's not so shitty that it's going to ruin your experience. It's just they could have done better, and this thing would probably have a lot more impact if it just looked a little bit better, especially considering the fact that it's on a fucking DVD and you usually expect better quality on a DVD. Color. I normally don't cover color, but since this is an animated work, color oftentimes something that you have to talk about. And this also ties in with the poor, like, picture quality. Colors, because everything is so, like, fuzzy, colors have a real bad habit of bleeding a little bit, and that also can kind of take you out. But again, that's more about the video quality itself. But otherwise, though, like, the, like, use of color is very, very good in this. But again, that is also because Koichi Ohata's work, at least when it comes to MD Geist, because that's the only thing it is I've seen besides this. He knows how to select the perfect colors to make every scene look good. And that's something which a lot of, anime sometimes is a little bit tricky with. Example, I happen to remember a long time ago I covered a movie. It was called California Crisis, and it had some of the shittiest color I'd ever seen. Everything was all bright and vibrant, and the shadow and the fucking like shadowing was really shit. None of that is here. Everything here looks really good in terms of color and art. So I cannot even begin to fault it on that. So really, guys, the only negatives with this thing is that it feels rushed and that the video quality, at least on the DVD, is a little bit fuzzy. Beyond that, though, you will not be disappointed if you were to go in and watch this. It is a very tight film. And it'll probably take you a couple of viewings to fully understand literally everything which is going on. Oh, one other problem. Fucking thing ends on a sequel hook, and as far as I know, there is no goddamn sequel. I'm sort of pissed, okay? Now, to get down to the fine-tuning, if you can find this thing anywhere, like if you can find it on like Netflix, I don't know if it's on Netflix, I never bothered to check. If somebody's uploaded it onto YouTube, if it's on Hulu, if you can find it on like, any other like video sharing site, if you want to BitTorrent it, if you want to buy the DVD, because it's from Central Park Media and their discs are usually kind of cheap. Go ahead and pick it up. You really will not be disappointed. It really is not that bad when all is said and done, but it's also not really that memorable. But it is kind of worth owning just so that way you can pop it in every couple of years and like give it a watch. It is definitely good for that. Now, since this is Fan Appreciation Month, it should already be known to most of you that everything I'm covering this month came off the Amazon wish list. The person who sent in this one is someone who sent in stuff before. However, this time around, he didn't want me to give the shout-out to his channel. He actually wants me to give the shout-out to a different channel, and I am going to respect his wish. So guys, person who sent in this would like you to go and check out a channel by a YouTube user called TJ Omega. Swing over there and check out everything that is over there. I really am not totally sure what TJ does because I never had a chance to go over there and take a look. However, though, still, guys, swing on over there and just check it all out. And to the person who sent this in, dude, thank you. Because I've always been curious about this fucking director's other works, and now I really want to watch Genocyber because, well, I might as well. I might as well just try to find the rest of his work to see if all of it is as good as this and MD Geist. So, hey, who knows, guys? At some point, there may be a reaction and review on Genocyber. I don't know. I really can't make any promises, but I can at least sort of hope. So, with that, we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.